This is going to be so easy, like almost too easy. Today I'm making a green chili corn chowder. And I've been making this for so long. I've been making, I think for at least 15 years. Because I've been vegan on and off, and I was vegan for a very long time. So this is a soup. This green chili corn chowder is a soup I've been making for a very, very, very long time. And I've always made it vegan. I make it with cashews and water. I make a cashew cream, and I love it. It's the soup that I bring, like whenever there's like a soup competition party, like a soup supper or something like that. And it's always requested that I bring this soup because it is so darn good. Now, in the past, I have made it with fat, with more fat. I just read the starch solution, and well, I'm not going to go full starch solution because I do love my seeds and my nuts, and I have this big old can of olive oil I need to get through, and the starch solution really, requires little to no oil and very little seeds and nuts and all that kind of stuff. But I think those are healthy. But I am trying to reduce the amount of oil and fat in my diet. But the idea behind it is that you're still reducing your calories, but you're eating starches so that it keeps you full and you're not hungry all the time. But you also have to not eat as much fat because fat is very calorie dense. I am kind of leaning towards that. So I'm actually not going to do the saute today. I'm not going to saute garlic and onion and cumin in oil, but you feel free to do that if you're not, I am using cashews. That would be kind of not starch solution, but I've been losing weight, just the way that I've been going, and I've cut down even more fat, so I anticipate, more will drop off. If I plateau, then maybe I will, cut out more nuts and seeds and all that. But like these pants were like, I had a muffin top, and now they feel like pajamas. They're so yummy. So I'm very excited about that. And the reason why this is going to be so easy is because now that I've been really kind of prepping ahead of time, and it's Monday, which is a prep day for me, I have everything kind of prepped out. Like I always collect my scraps, my veggie scraps, in a gallon bag, and I keep it in the freezer. And when that fills up, I make broth. So I just made broth today, and that broth is full of onion. And I threw in a bunch of garlic in it as well. It's been simmering for like 2.5 hours. And because of that, I don't need to add any more garlic or onion to the soup. It's full of it. It's got so much of it. So I'm not even going to be missing that. So all I have is the broth here. So no saute, nothing, that's going to be so easy. And I've got 2 ears of corn. These came from the farm. I just shucked them. I have this much green chili. It's not a lot, but the green chili this year is so hot, and I got hot. I kind of recommend, if you're going to get some chili from Hatch, that you get medium, because it's super hot this year. Normally I'd be using a lot more. I'd use about twice as much chili, but it's just too hot. I can't. Now, if you don't have access to green chili, poblano peppers work great. I like to roast them. I just roast them on my stovetop and then peel them and leave a little bit of charred bits on for the smokiness. So poblanos work wonderful. I live in North Carolina. Typically poblanos are not hot, but sometimes our poblanos can be hot. So just be aware of that. You can use Anaheim chilies. There's a lot of things you can use. I recommend roasting them, whatever you do. You can roast the Anaheim chili just like you would green chili. You can roast poblanos. I do not recommend doing this with jalapenos. It would be too hot. It's just too hot. I mean, you can make corn chowder, and you could put a couple jalapenos in there, and that would be great. But like, not this much. No. All right, so I've already shook my corn. I've got the green chili right here to blend my cashews, which have been soaking in hot water for, I guess, about 4 hours. So I'm just throwing them in there. Yes, my Vitamix is clean, but they get so cloudy. I don't know why they're so cloudy. Do you have a Vitamix? What do you do about the cloudiness? I don't know. I'm kind of like, it embarrasses me a little bit. So I'm just gonna make my cashews. And I put about a cup of cashews in there. And there's probably about a cup of water. What does the mark say? I don't know. Maybe a cup. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some of this aside. Yeah, that was about 2 cups. Other thing that I've already done is I made potatoes. I just get a bunch of Yukon Gold potatoes, like a whole bunch of them, and I steamed them today. I steam them so that they're just ready to go in the fridge whenever I want to do something with potatoes. And I've actually been just eating them, just plain, like not even with any salt, because I just think they're so delicious. These are so creamy. But I'm going to use a few of these. How about 4? I'll use 4 in our soup today, and I'll put the rest back in the fridge. We got 4 for inside the soup, but I'm actually going to save a couple more to be blended in the blender, and that's going to thicken the soup. Every Monday, I try to make sure I've got like potatoes and some kind of legume. And maybe like quinoa, and I just keep them in the fridge. And I'll chop up some vegetables to make wraps or just salads, you know, whatever I want. I just make it easy to get to. And I use potatoes for a lot of things. Like, kind of sketchy. Oh, it's getting all over. Okay, I'm just gonna throw in the potatoes. So easy. Just a couple potatoes in there. About a quarter cup of nutritional yeast. Maybe about a teaspoon of cumin. Yes, it's not really measured well, but that's how much I use. I'm gonna throw the green chili in it. I'm leaving the cashew cream out for now because I don't know how much I want to put in it yet. Whoa! I knew I should have worn my apron. I just put some salt in it too. It's so good already. No, it's so spicy though. It's so even that. Oh no. Put some cashew cream in it. Tomato, I had some earlier in a wrap, but we're going to cook this actually on the stove for a little bit as well, and just to cook the corn and the tomatoes a little bit. The potatoes are already cooked, but so it's going to be, there's going to be chunks of potato and corn, and it's not all going to be pureed. Turn medium low, and then I'm just going to prepare everything else. Everywhere. Maybe this is a better way to cut it this way instead of cutting it down where they fly all over the place. Save these for my next scrap bag. Corn is great to make broth with. This broth has got corn in it, corn cob in it. Okay. That is so good. It's hot. Don't get me wrong, it's really hot. The green chili is so hot. But that's really good. I'm not missing anything. The cashew provides enough fat to bring out the fat-soluble flavors. As it simmers, it's taking the starch from the potatoes and thickening it even more. I only used about a quarter cup of my cashew cream. That's about an eighth of a cup of cashews. Like what is an eighth of a cup of cashews calorie-wise? 98 calories in an eighth of a cup of cashews. That's it. There's going to be like 4 servings in that. Damn. That is... Wow, that is amazing. I'm going to put a little bit more potato in it. I mean, it has a lot of potatoes, but it's so spicy. And the potatoes are going to absorb some of that spice, making it a little less spicier. Can you see it? I should take a picture of it. This is 5 days later. So Michael and I did have it the very next day. We had it over rice because it was still hot. It's just been in the fridge for a few days because I've made other meals and we've been eating a lot of leftovers. It seems like I barely ever have to cook anymore because I do so much prep. And I always have leftovers in the fridge because I do big pots of legumes, and I always have like a little bit of rice and potatoes, and there's just so much variety to make a bunch of different things. Okay, enough of that. I'm going to try this. I decided to put the air fried zucchini in it because my fall garden gave me a little zucchini, so we're going to enjoy her. Still really good. Even better. It's actually better after a couple of days because it is not as hot. The potatoes have absorbed so much flavor. It's actually seems a little creamier. And it's just so rich. And I mean, this to me tastes like 1,000 calories. So I'm not going to make you watch me finish this bowl. I'm just going to eat my lunch now. But thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate everything that you do. Your support, hanging out with me, being my YouTube friend. I absolutely appreciate it. And if you made it this far and you like this video, consider hitting that like button. Anyway, I'm going to say until next week, but I think I'm going to be back in a couple more days. So if you hit that bell button next to the subscribe button, you'll be notified when I upload my next video, because I'm still a little random right now, but I try to get at least 2 videos up a week. All right. See you soon. Bye.